Hello, I'm Mr. Farrell. I teach math, pull-out math for smaller groups. I teach both 7th and 8th grades. This right next to me is a zone check, which is where we start class. When students walk into class, we take a moment to check in within ourselves and with each other where we are. And on top there, the green zone is the goal to be ready to learn. If we're not in the green zone, where are we and what it is that we need to do in order to get ready to learn? After we go around and each one have a turn to talk, and we also are taking turns listening to each other, then we move on to the next part of our class, which is a mindfulness practice. And I hope it will come out on the camera okay, but this is an example of a guided meditation, which is sometimes what we do.
And this time replacing it with that person who, for whatever reason, you might be having difficulty communicating with right now. But in just the same way, we imagine that same spark.
That is a Netflix series, actually, which anyone can watch, and I highly recommend. It's called Headspace Guide to Meditation. Headspace is a very big, famous mindfulness app that you can purchase and log in. There are several resources with them, and we use some of that in the classroom. Sometimes we do play social emotional games like traffic lights. We also play what is it called? Dance chairs. The one where we have a music going and we stop and everybody has to sit down. Those are some of the strategies to help students, if they're not in a good place, getting back ready to learn by self-regulating first. That's the very first 5 minutes of class. After that, we move on to our curriculum, which is Math 180. That's what we use in this class. And it usually starts with a question similar to this on fractions, where it's called a do now. We have something that we can discuss and learn from, starting with a question. In this case is an example of two students who got a question right or wrong, and what it is that they did right, what it is that they did wrong, and we discussed that in group. A lot of the work, though, in this class is individual. We tailor the class towards the needs and challenges of each student and the way they learn. That is guided by the IEP. So Math 180 was chosen particularly because of this possibility where we can, I'm just gonna show where we leave our, right by the entrance here we have some baskets with the books, and there are 4 in the series that we use in this class. Students are assessed or where to start, and they move on based on their own speed. So as a group, what I do is I break the class into smaller groups, and we'll tackle where they are based on that group's needs. There's a large portion of the Math 180 curriculum that is also online, and that has different things. Some of it is the curriculum itself, similar to what's in the book, and that we addressed as a class. They have a chance to practice online. Some of it is also fun, and that's a third of the class, which is usually the last part of the class, which is playing with math, is playing games. We play a very common, very famous game named Prodigy. That's one thing we use. We also use the Brain Arcade. It's a section of Math 180 that is only math games. I have students who have put hundreds of hours in there. They really enjoy, and that is the sort of homework that I send for these students. I haven't had success over the past few years on students completing homework, and part of what I'm trying to do in this class is undo some of the habits they have created in their mindset around math, from past experiences. So by playing with math, some of what we're working on is reinstilling this idea that math can be fun, and that and staying away from obligations in terms of punitive or certain things like you have to do more math because you didn't pay attention, or that sort of thing. So the homework I send is playing more with math, so they can use Brain Arcade, they can play Prodigy. So a lot of students really enjoy that, and freely and on their own they tend to do that. And I'm talking a lot. This video is getting long. I'm happy to answer questions if there's anything else you want to do. One of my priorities in this class is to make the safe environment, to make math fun and interesting, and to work on the growth mindset of seeing math as a skill that everyone can develop, and I'm here to help. That was it. This is Mr. Farrow, math class.